I guess I should introduce myself. I should start by saying welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha. I am born and raised in New York, and I'm a singer-songwriter, aspiring musician. I'm very into fitness, health, and wellness, and also mental health. It's like one of my favorite topics to talk about. That is what I plan to touch on a lot on this channel. Mostly, I'm pretty sure. I've been mentioning on social media that I want to start a YouTube channel, and I'm not entirely sure where to start. This video is going to be my entry to posting on YouTube once again. I have some old videos on here, but I did not stick to it, and I do want to be more consistent with like posting content and whatnot. I'm 29 years old, and I'm entering my 30s soon. I've been reflecting a lot about my 20s. I've been through quite a few things, just had some changes this past year. I've learned more about myself in the past year or so than I have in almost all of my 20s. I wanted to give you guys my top tips. I don't know how many it'll be. I think I'm gonna try to have this video not be too long, because if you're anything like me, you can't stand a long-winded video, but either way, I'll section it off. You can navigate the video as you please. I'm gonna try and keep it condensed, but I'm a yapper. I'm a certified yapper. So this video might be longer than I anticipate, but yeah. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is to take a break from social media, take a break from your phone. Now, if you're like me, you may find that sometimes you take a break from social media and you don't want to get back on social media. But at the same time, maybe you have goals where posting and putting yourself out there would really help promote your brand. So don't be like me and go completely off the grid all the time. You have to find balance. However, putting it plainly, I am a firm believer that human beings were never meant to have this much access to other people's lives, other people's opinions, other people's day-to-day life, other people's stances on everything, other people's problems and toxicities. It's just too much. When I'm scrolling on social media, my brain just feels cluttered and bombarded from like everybody else's fucking opinions and everybody else's fucking life. And it fucks with me. I also, a very bad habit of mine, that's also kind of its own little point. It is a really surefire way to get caught in the web of comparison. Social media makes it really easy to fall into that trap. I can feel so good about something and where I'm headed with my own journey, and then I sign on social media and I just see someone who's like 20 steps ahead, has so much more money than me, just bought a new house, just got a new dog, and then I immediately feel like I should be further along. Social media just gives us way too much access to what other people have going on. And if you're going through a hard time, it's really important to double down and focus on where you're at. Focus on what you need. You need to pour back into yourself. It's you versus you. And overconsumption of social media is going to make you feel like it fucking matters. Like subconsciously, it's going to start to matter to you. I'm telling you, take a break from it. If you have work to do on social media, if promoting or posting yourself or networking or whatever helps you out, you have to stick to it, right? And I'm telling myself that as well. I'm keeping that in mind for myself. But other than that, if you don't need to be on it, take breaks. We were not meant to do this so much. It's not normal. Take a break. My second point is acceptance. I feel like if you're going through a hard time, or at least for me, like I've been going through heartbreak, growth, shedding old skin, changes. I've had to be very like tough love on myself. If you're going through a super hard time, trying to fight it or trying to run from it is probably one of the worst things you can do. I mean, it's denial. The opposite of acceptance is denial. So it's like it's you prolonging, procrastinating, or putting off hurt or grief that you might really need to face. Believe me when I tell you that like facing something, I don't know, your demons for lack of a better term, like facing pain inside is life altering. Like it changes you. To really confront what you're struggling with head on, it's extremely challenging. It's heavy. That's what it feels like to me. It's heavy, and it's like acknowledging and looking the weight right in the eyes. I think it's kind of like a slow realization and coming to terms kind of feeling like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what happened. This is where I'm at. This is where my path has led me. I feel like acceptance requires you to dig deep. A lot of people don't dig deep enough. And I feel like for a long time, I wasn't digging deep enough. This past year, I actually started really, really, really digging deep enough. And you know why? The truth is, it's because I had a relationship with someone who I loved very, very much. And it's kind of true what they say about relationships, where like, there's a quote, something about how relationships trigger you, or like sometimes your partner can mirror you and like introduce you to all your unhealed wounds. You know what I mean? Because of the depth of the relationship, I dug deep. It just introduced me to a lot of the unhealed trauma or wounds or triggers or whatever you want to call it that I had, and that I was completely holding on to, and that I'm still holding on to and trying to let go of. And it is a challenge every single day. Once I got to a point where I met myself where I was at, I saw where I was at and why. I saw what the problems were, and I'm still kind of realizing what some of the problems are, and I accepted it. Like, I didn't try to pretend or deny or push it down or not talk about it with anyone. I accepted it. In the process of this, I've learned to give myself so much grace that I never have before. It has also deepened my relationship with my own self. I'm there for myself a lot more than I used to be. I'm more open with myself. I'm more honest with myself. That's a big part of acceptance, obviously, is honesty. It's like radical honesty with yourself. Why am I doing this? Why do I feel this way? Why do I choose to keep up this pattern that makes me feel better about it but doesn't actually solve this problem for me, doesn't actually help me heal? Why is this my go-to? What does this do for me really? Like, just questioning yourself and being honest with yourself, because like I said in the last point, it's you versus you. Like, sometimes I'm ashamed of the things that I feel, and I'm like, Samantha, it's just you. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. It's okay. Like, don't be that person that can't even just like be real in the company of their own self. Accepting where you're at and just allowing yourself to be there, I feel like will really, really take a weight off your shoulders and allow you to just really start to look at what's hurting you in a less self-inflicted, judgmental way. Okay, my third point, and this is actually low-key a banger. Stop going to people all the time. Stop, externalizing your struggles or what you're feeling, for a couple reasons. Number one, not to get too manifesty and all woo-woo, even though I'm very into that whole world. I'm a firm believer in talking more about what you do want and way less, if at all, about what you don't want. Stop talking about everything that's wrong. Stop complaining all the time. Don't get me wrong. When I sit down with my girls and they're like, oh, how's work? I'm like, let me tell you. And I will let it fly. Like, if something is fucked up, if I'm going through a breakup, if I'm having a hard time, I talk to people. I go to people. I'm not saying to never do that. But have you ever had those moments where like you go to someone for something and maybe their take on it or their advice either A, doesn't help, B, doesn't like apply to you, like it's just maybe you and that person are just, you look at it too differently, or C, they say something that like just straight up makes you feel worse and they don't mean it. I know that that's happened to me. Maybe you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But that's 100% happened to me. People come from different places, different backgrounds, different upbringings, and sometimes what you struggle with, other people, they don't struggle with that. They don't relate to that. Everyone has their own stuff. But if you're going through a hard time or going through a breakup, after talking about it or the pain of it, and because you do have to get through that, and I understand that, but at least for one conversation, just try to talk about what you're learning, what it taught you, the good times that served its purpose, what you want next, what you hope will be better next time, what you hope to do better the next chance you get, whether it be with that person or with someone else. Try to approach your struggles from a perspective of enlightenment and learning and lessons learned, as opposed to wallowing in them, in a sense. And that doesn't mean that the struggles that you go through, they shouldn't hurt. Like, please don't get it twisted. That is not what I'm saying. None of these like pointers that I'm giving will take away the pain. It's more just a way to exist with it for the chapter that it's in your life. The other thing that I wanted to say about to stop going to people all the time is that I feel like it really, kind of like I mentioned in my last point, deepens your insightfulness and your intuition and your connection with your own nervous system. I feel like it strengthens your ability to be there for yourself and self-regulate. Like for me, I used to go to my sister. Like if she's watching this, I doubt she's even watching this because she already knows. I feel like she needs space from me. Like I go to my big sister about things that you don't need to go to anybody about. I'm trying to unhinge and like go within, and there's been so many times in the past couple months actually that I feel like I've had some little mini panic attacks or just like really hard, sad moments with myself, and I didn't call anybody. I just sat with it and I cried and I cried and I cried, and I maybe said some things out loud or wrote some things down or like spoke to myself. I was there for myself the way I needed someone to be, but it strengthened me to do that. There's a few different reasons why I do believe it's important to kind of go within and stop externalizing all your problems. So hopefully that point made sense. So my fourth point is going to be, how can I put this? Picking your battles, right? Now, if you know me in person, and if you know me well, you are probably looking at the screen like, that's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard you fucking say, Samantha. And the reason some people might be saying that is because I let everything get under my skin. Everything is a threat. Everything has a deeper meaning to it. Everything is a problem. Everything hurts my feelings. But I'm trying to do better at this by picking my battles. Now, if we're opening this up a little bit, what I mean is prioritizing how I feel, in the sense that I'm following the better, more optimistic thought process or feeling. And in that process, I am making the decision to feel good. I am actively making the decision to follow the better feeling thoughts, and therefore I am prioritizing my emotional well-being, my overall well-being. When you choose not to let something get under your skin, you are prioritizing your emotional health. You are prioritizing your well-being in that day. You are choosing peace. You are choosing, in my opinion, it's kind of like independence. I don't want to say solitude, but you're not letting someone else's shit or problems bleed into your lane. You know what I mean? You're like, it's boundaries, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's boundaries. I've heard people talk about this like way of thinking, and it really definitely clicked for me. It's a practice of self-love and the prioritization of your well-being. Every time you choose the pessimistic route or you assume the worst, which I do every single day, I'm still working on that, and this is how I'm trying to work on it, and it does help. But every time you choose the negative route, you're not allowing yourself to feel good. Now, here's the thing. If something actually happened, right? Like, that's different. What I'm more so talking about is on the day-to-day, the anxiety, the nervousness, the feeling of just like walking on eggshells, just never truly being able to relax because your guard is always up, because that is very much me. You always think people mean harm, which is a trauma response. You always think like everything is like a threat. You're worrying about everything, which I do. What if this? What if that? Every time you play that what if game, you are allowing yourself to succumb to those negative feelings. What if you took the optimistic route? What if you just gave that a chance? I'm telling you, I'm the queen of pessimism, but that's a title I no longer want. I did not mean to be that way throughout my life. It's a self-protection method, but it's only harming you because you're keeping those negative feelings alive when you don't need to, because you're trying to avoid having to be caught off guard by these feelings again. But you don't need to do that. And even if something negative does happen again, which life does happen, handle that when you get there. Worrying is a day-to-day battle for me. Every day. I have to pull myself out of it every single day. Some days I do really well. Other days and other environments that I'm in, I don't do so well. But the one thing that does help me is when I realize what's happening and I'm like, Samantha, choose the better feeling thought. Prioritize feeling good. I deserve to feel good. Keep that in mind and say that to yourself. When you start getting all caught up in like, what if I'm not enough? What if I'm not? What if they this? What if this job is it? What if I don't make the cut? What if I'm not? Prioritize the thought that makes you feel good, because you deserve to feel good. Shut out the noise and choose the better feeling thought. Stop letting everything get under your skin. Pick your battles. Choose and follow what makes you feel good inside. You deserve that. So my last and final point, I saved the best for last, in my opinion. This one is just really straightforward, but it's everything. In the midst of your worst days, I'm telling you, it's everything. And that is gratitude. Gratitude shifted everything for me. It doesn't make all the pain and all the hurt and the wounds go away. No. And I don't mean gratitude in the sense of like there's people that are worse off. I don't mean it in like a downplaying kind of way. I genuinely mean there is always a silver lining, and I know you might have to really dig and it might take some time to find what that is. I'm a believer that there is a silver lining in some sense. And again, sometimes it doesn't show up right away. Sometimes you don't know what it is right away, but it is there. And that doesn't mean that the thing that happened, that something you're going through isn't gut-wrenching or heartbreaking. But in this day and age where like consumerism is one thing, scrolling on social media or online, and there's always like this new thing you want, there's always this new place you want to travel to, there's always all these desires and goals and wants. It's so important to remember what you already have, who you already are, and just to be grateful for everything, the good, the bad, the hard, the easy, whatever it is. If you're religious, this could be in the form of prayer. If you're not, it could just be about talking more so just to the universe, whatever it is that you believe. Stop putting out this energy of only focusing on what you don't have. It's all you're gonna feel. It's all the things you don't have. What gratitude does, for me at least, is it shifts my focus away from that. I forget about all the shit that I feel like I got to a point where I was so grateful, and I am so grateful that even if I never get what my career goals are or my aspirations or whatever, even if that's not meant for me and I never get it, I am content with what I have because I'm okay. Forget about the noise of all the things you haven't done yet, all the things you want to do, all the progress you want to make that you haven't made yet. What's the saying? The grass waters? No. Samantha. The grass grows where you water it. There's also another one, the wolf that you feed is the wolf that wins is the one you feed. That's like what my phone is telling me. It's basically like that. What you give, you get. So if all you're giving and all you're emitting, whether it be energetically, spiritually, or whatever you believe, the thoughts that you're feeding, if all you're focused on is everything that's missing, that's all you're gonna feel. But if you start focusing on everything that you have achieved, everything you do have, all the progress you have made, all the growth you've encountered, all the growing you've done, it's going to feel so much better for you on a day-to-day basis. Because you're just, even me saying that, I'm like, that makes me feel gratitude. It's like, I have come so far. I'm not the person I used to be. I have grown. I have changed. I am better. I remember when I used to pray and beg and yearn for what I have now. Don't forget about gratitude. I'm looking right at you. Okay, so that wraps up my video. I tried to keep it kind of short. Like I said, I be yapping. So let me know what videos you want to see more. I want to know what kind of topics you guys might want me to discuss on here. Commenting, liking, subscribing, interaction on social media really helps any kind of content creator. So please, if you're any kind of supporter, I would really appreciate that. But thank you for watching. If you did make it all the way through, let me know your thoughts and tell me more of what you want to see, and I'll see you next time. Bye.